Ayun, start na tayo.
Okay.
For now, wala si JC. Nasa China siya ngayon. So kami muna ni Toma Cruz yung magiging host for Invest Live session. Ngayon, feature natin si Anima and si Taylor. Anima,
Hello.
ayun, say hi.
Hi. Hello.
Ayan. Si Taylor, siya yung champion ng InvestaCup 2017. And Anima, Ken, siya yung top 5 noong 2018. Tama ba?
Yeah.
Ayun, so
Top 1 in our hearts.
top 1. Ayun, si Paolo naman, siya yung new
Hey.
teammate namin sa Investa.
Hello mga ka-Investa. I'm Paolo, I'm Toma Trader. I'm a new member of Team Investa. I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to I'm going to be able to provide more value to the community. So I'm looking forward to this session.
Yeah. Thank you, Paolo. And introduce yourself, Sir Ken.
So hi guys, I'm Ken Arcano, Anima and Investagrams community.
Single.
Okay.
Sige yan.
Joke lang.
So, mahilig akong mag-trade. Mahilig akong basket, gitara. Tapos, first time akong nahook sa trading was in 2014. It's just chamba lang eh. Nakapasok ako sa isang internship in one of the largest brokerage in the Philippines. And doon, simula noon, tuloy-tuloy na. So, that's me. So, Habs.
Ikaw naman, Yari.
How I started. So, my interest in the stock market started out in college. So, by grace lang actually, I had a cousin who was 10 years older than me who sort of acted like a mentor. Sabi niya sa akin, 2003, 2004 to, sabi niya, kailangan mo itong basahin yung Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant, Rich Guide to Investing. He made sure I read those books every time we would meet for a family reunion. So I got involved with some stock trading competitions at school, as early as college, and then when I finally made some capital, syempre, because of that experience, top of mind ko mag-open ng brokerage account. So I opened my first brokerage account January 2007 with ang Ping Securities pa at the time. And then, obviously, I won't tell the story na how I lost half of that. But, so that's how I started. And then eventually, after, I'm sure many of you have tried out many avenues to learn. So during that time, ang options pa nun was, di ko lang naabutin yung absolute traders. So may basic, advanced, I went through that. I went through, obviously during the time, sikat na si Nico Sayo during the time. And then, 2008, that's when I became a CWL customer. And that's when I really started to learn how to engage the stock market, start with market briefings, and then eventually went managing money full-time 2010. So I did that, and I was fortunate enough that COL at the time just was starting to look for people to manage money. Out of the professional money managers, I think there are around close to 100 today. I was the sixth or seventh person that came in, so we're there to manage money professionally. And then, yun, dun ako natuto. So, in short, laking COL talaga ako. Natuto ako talaga with the seminars, mostly trading, dun sa technical analysis seminars ni Juanes. So, I remember every time I would come in the seminar, lagi sa akin sabihin ni Juanes, natalo ko na naman, kaya ka nandito. So literally, I attended those seminars at least 20, 30 times. That's not an exaggeration. And then, eventually, my trading began to evolve because of K-Loan, right? So, sa K-Loan talaga ako din nag-breakthrough because if you want to be good at something, you teach it, right? And I was given the task to teach the the core non-essentials of risk management and trading psychology. So, shout out sa Kalum Batch 11.
Yun, no?
If any are listening,
Plus points.
so that's ongoing now. I'm actually teaching risk management trading psych sa kanila for the 11th time since 2000. Well, 11th time since Kalum started 2013. And then, yun, doon talaga ako nag-start. And then, after Kalum, eventually I also started teaching technical analysis under Juanes in COL. So I've been doing that since 2014. Yeah, so that's how I started. So now I do, while doing that on the side, I manage a fund in the local stock market as I have been since 2010. So
Okay.
that's pretty much.
Haba ng, ano,
Sorry, intro.
Hindi.
Two-sentence intro.
I mean, parang si Sir Juanes na rin yung naging core mentor mo. Yung parang yung mind niya. Sa'yo na rin.
If I'm gonna be honest talaga, I'd say sa kanya talaga ako natuto. Just attending his seminars and just picking his brain once in a while when he's available. So, yeah.
Ikaw, Ken, may other parts of the trading journey mo na gusto mo i-share?
Yung buong story ba to?
How you started.
Sige. So, sabi ko nga kanina, it's 2014. We're just lucky to be selected as one of the interns in, yun, same with Javi. Aking COL, I was also an intern before at City Securities. Where prior to the internship, wala talaga akong alam about stocks. Hindi ko alam hanggang ngayon kung paano ako nakapasok sa internship na yun. Pero dun talaga nabuksan yung mata ko in not only in trading, but also in having the growth mindset and learning every day and reading, seek mentors. Dun naging mas gutom yung personality ko. So in City Securities back then, siguro mas ang bilis ko rin, hindi naman sa pagmayabang, pero ang bilis ko rin catch up with the trading aspect, primarily because prior to trading, I already have this mga virtual online game items na tinitrade. So, yun yung pinagkakakitaan ko online nung college. So, doon yung Ragnarok, pati sa Dota yung mga keys, ganyan. So, ang bilis yung pick up nung nasa trading na. Kaya, nung nalaman ko na, uy, may mas malaking market at liquid market na pwedeng laruin, doon na talaga fall in love yung doon na ako nag-commit nung time na yun.
Trading.
But my only mistake back then was that hindi ako nag-follow through with my mentors and my peers. Parang after nung internship, sinarili ko yung journey ko na parang may mayabang na part, uy, kaya ko na. Pero we all know what happened.
Yeah, mayabang.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we all know what happened after na syempre, mas madaling matuto if you're within a community, right?
And just to piggyback on that, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
That's really I mean, it's an age-old wisdom. And obviously, not only was Ken able to grow and he was with the community, but I myself, I mean, one of my breakthroughs came when I was actually sweated out and invited to teach in Kalum. So I was put in a position where I learned also from pretty much the best people in COL and City Securities. So that's so I'd say iron sharpens iron. That's one, and second is that I think with most traders, the only reason why we're able to see far is because we're able to stand on the shoulders of other giants, of giants, diba? And I think, let's say kayo dito, I'm sure may mga giants kayo dito that you guys are relying on for your own development. In the same way na kami, of course, you mentioned Juanes a while ago. Obviously, the biggest giant there is Edward, who pretty much everyone has learned from, Boss Edward. So, yeah, I think, and it's not. I mean, those are the two operating principles, not just here, but also for traders around the world.
Yeah. Siguro to add to that lang, after nung sinarili ko yung journey, Kasi I went into banking muna, treasury, global markets before actually going full-time trading. And mag-isa talaga yung journey na yun eh. And nung na-meet ko yung trading group ko now, which is Kaizen, which actually, shout out kay Rafi for having the initiative to form Kaizen. Doon talaga doon talaga na accelerate ng sobra. Kasi not only na nag-learn ako from my kapwa traders, but more importantly, I can also share what my learnings, my journals, my discoveries sa market. So, learning at the same time teaching, yun talaga as in na-accelerate yung curve. I mean, at the end.
Tama.
Okay. So, as we all know, the Trading Cup 2019
Alright.
is about to begin in a few months.
Sali ka ba, Avi?
No.
Secret.
Let's see. So, let's learn from the experience of Javi and Ken. So, sir, kamusta naman? How was it like nag-handle kayo ng virtual portfolio and your real portfolio at the same time during the competition?
Yeah.
Mahirap ba? Nakaka-stress ba?
Oo naman.
Super.
I mean, it's make no mistake about it. When you join, there's really added pressure. I mean, it's talagang you'll feel. Some people will argue that it's unnecessary pressure. Some people will say that it's pressure that you can use. Of course, kanya-kanyang experience yan. But for me, the reason why I joined, and it was the reason why I joined back then, it's the reason why I still would encourage people to join these days. Because as a trader, we're always looking for ways to build an edge. Diba? Edge is a common term to every trader. I don't need to explain that. But yung added pressure kasi na araw-araw, gigising ka, have ka na setups, yung chart, yung pressure kasi can serve as an edge for you to push you. To push you to really look for those opportunities na to give you that extra squint when you go through your charts. And I would argue that, yes, pressured ka nga, but the fact that you're pressured means that you're put in a position of discomfort, right? And sa akin, what I've always really espoused is that where there's discomfort, there's growth talaga. So if you want to grow as a trader, you need to put yourself in positions outside your comfort zone. If you want to go outside your comfort zone, then you gotta find pressure where you can. And I think that InvestaCup is a good way to exert that pressure to help you grow as a trader, to give you that edge in a way that is non-fatal. Why? Because it's a virtual port.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you lose virtual money. So you can think of it as a risk-free way to build an edge and to grow as a trader. Right? I think ang krabo mo lang talaga dun is the time, right? Because I understand that there have been some traders in the past, myself included, where let's say, especially Q4, people go out of the country or are busy with Christmas, maybe they're busy with Christmas events. So syempre you have to weigh that versus the time that you can actually commit. So if that's something you can commit to, I would highly encourage it. If you're just worried about the pressure, embrace the pressure.
Yeah, I think yung added factor lang ng Investagrams Trading Cup, yung pressure lang talaga eh. Pero lahat ng i-execute mo doon should also reflect yung ginagawa mo sa real portfolio. Right? Kasi hindi pwedeng pupunta ka doon tapos iba yung ipapakita mong strategies and iba yung i-reflect ng analytics mo compared to what you're doing talaga in real life.
Right.
But at the same time, you also have to be innovative in such a way na i-shape mo yung system mo to be able to compete to other traders. So, what does that mean? It means na if you're trading TF and longer time frames, it's really hard to compete with those who are more micro and more like swing trading yung sistema eh. Probably siguro sa bull market kaya makipagkompetensya nun. Pero even nung time yun, di ba, parang more talagang swing strategy ng
Balang sa market yung panahon namin.
yeah. Kasi the difference between the InvestaCup na sinalihan nila Javi and yung the 2018 Cup is
Mas mahirap yung sa inyo.
mas mahirap yung 2018 primarily because nag-shift na yung market and yung most yung traders hindi nakapag-adapt. Meaning, ginagawa pa rin, tina-trade pa rin nila yung same setups ng 2017 na hindi na nag-work yung 2018, which led to frustration, also inisip or doubt sa sariling skill nila. Pero those who were able to adapt, of course, made money 2018 kasi really only a few people was up 2018.
Right. And if I'm gonna add, kasi ang maganda din sa Cup is like, naalala ko sa 2017, syempre, when you're managing money by yourself, you're only looking at your portfolio. But when you're in the Cup, the pressure comes from seeing the list on the right side of the screen
Umakyat.
and seeing umakyat. So mapapatanong ka kasi na let's say hindi umakyat portfolio mo that
Anong
day.
trade nila?
Hindi umakyat portfolio for day. And then nakita mo, uy, si Z umakyat ng ganito. Shit, paano nahuli yun? Diba? You're forced to ask yourself those questions. Paano nagawa yun? And then you go back and you ask and you're really forced to really improve it. And I'd say it's really a good opportunity to learn and to grow.
Test of character din. Kasi nung 2018, ang one of my mistakes na pinoint out siguro ng mga kapwa traders ko, and of course Javi and other top level traders, is masyado kong kinompare yung sarili ko with other traders na yung sasabi ni Javi na umaakyat. So ibig sabihin, I was comparing myself dun sa performance nila. Parang, umakyat sila, kailangan ko rin umakyat. Dapat kasi you have to strike the balance yung isolating yourself and at the same time competitive drive na kailangan ko mag-number one.
Right. It's a healthy balance between running your own race and benchmarking with others, so you can use that benchmarking to also help improve your own style.
Kasi yun, sinasabi ko, share ko to with everyone. Kalahati pa ng competition, pagod na ako. Na yung mga setups na tinitira, minsan marami ng slack. Kahit hindi mo naman setup, kailangan mong kumita ng pera kasi yung katabi mo kumikita ng pera eh, di ba? So may mga ganong cases. But sa end ng competition, as Javi pointed out a while ago, kanina umaga, nag-usap kami, the more important thing is yung experience na pressure ka kasi it only gets better after that, right? Meaning, nag-expand ka lang, lumaki lang yung pain threshold mo, naging mas magaling ka lang after that.
Pero may time ba na dinout mo yung sarili mo along the way ng competition?
Yung especially after, mamaya pag-usapan PXP.
Every day.
Kung kaya ko ba to?
Hindi, pero may magandang sinabi si Ken kanina eh. Kasi, di ba syempre as traders, of course there are big rules, like cardinal rules that we follow, like no big losses, no forced trades, over trading, ganyan. And when you actually put yourself in a position where you're subject to added pressure, you'll be forced to test those parameters, right? For example, sa overtrading, may mga parameters ka for overtrading. Pag may pressure ka, matetest talaga yun eh. So you'll learn more about yourself in terms of and it's in terms of, let's say, the kind of behavior that will result if you're subject to that added pressure. Kasi in the future, what happens if, let's say, for example, you're a trader and then all of a sudden you have that added pressure of expectations from clients, expectations from, let's say, pag sumali ka sa financial institution, you're pressured to hit a certain return to outperform the index. So those are similar situations that, and I mean, if you look at the best traders around the world, everyone deals with pressure with expectations, what other people think, what clients think, the pressure of the index going up 100 plus points while you're underinvested, diba? Syempre, And it's always very helpful to put yourself in situations where you can already see ano ba yung maging epekto sa'yo ng pressure na yun para you can learn more about yourself, right? Because as we know, trading is not just mastery of the system, it's mastery of yourself, right? So
Pero how do you, I have a question. How do you find the balance between being able to adapt to the market environment and
At the same
overtrading?
time, overtrade.
Yeah, kasi baka even ako, nung sumali ako sa 2018, parang momentum stocks titira ko, tapos sabi ko, ay, hindi pala pwede. Tapos may mga bounce opportunities, pero hindi naman ako sanay mag-bounce. So, in my mind, baka I was thinking na nag-a-adapt naman ako pero in reality, I was overtrading. So, where do you find the balance?
Siguro, ang prinsipyo ko lang dyan, among all, when you look at the greatest of all time, yung mga greats of all time, whether it's basketball, Jordan, hockey, Wayne Gretzky, other greats like, say, Michael Phelps, lahat sila, if there is one trait, aside from hard work, usual hard work, committed, passionate, etc. Siguro, I think one of the most underrated trait that they have is they're versatile. Meaning, they can perform in different aspects ng game, and they understand the game in a broad scale, which allows them
adaptability.
to adapt sa different kinds of setup and environment. So, when it comes to 2018 siguro, may two types lang yan Those who were able to adapt, or second, yung talagang merong edge sa kind of market nila, which are the bounce players, counter trenders. Yun, siguro tingin ko yung sagot ko lang na paano mo magagawa yun. It's really from the basics yun, constant learning, reading, as experience din. And at the same time, having an edge which will allow you to adapt in different kinds of market.
For me, how do you find the balance between overtrading and
Adapting to the market environment.
so it's a balance between overtrading and parang
So, di yung sistema mo.
yung being able to follow your system to the max while not overtrading at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think for me it's simple. It goes back to your analytics. Goes back to your analytics. And to answer that question, obviously you need to have an objective way of it's helpful to have an objective way of answering that. And I think like for example, me, Ken, and our other teammate Matt, shout out kay Matt Flores. We have our analytics meetings, accountabilities every Tuesday, and then one of the ways for you to not overtrade is to look at your analytics. To give you an example, we use this is a Kalem technique. We use a 30% hit ratio time by a 2.4 times edge as a guideline. What do I mean by that? It means that if you look at your analytics and your hit ratio is 30% and you have an edge of 2.4 times, it means that that's your break-even level. So let's say, for example, if I'm trying to, if I see that the market's trying to move and I'm trying to really to maximize, let's say if I see that sa kakapilit ko because I'm trying too hard, nakikita ko na dami kong masyadong cut, let's say yung hit ratio ko goes to 2, let's say 1:5. So that's 20%. So I'm like,
Oh no.
oh no, or Shemai. oh no. At 20%, what's my edge, right? Because if I see that my hit ratio goes below, let's say 25-30%, I need to see a high edge of like 2.7 or at least 3 times edge to tell me that I'm still operating, that whatever state I'm operating in, I'm operating in a profitable way. Yeah. So I know if I'm overtrading, if my analytics tell me na, kasi obviously overtrading results in losing money, and you'll know if you're losing money with your analytics and if your analytics. And not only that, you can also see what's my churn rate, right? So let's say how many times, like if I'm already operating at a at a losing level using my hit ratio and my edge. What's my churn rate? Because some people will continue to churn at the same level they churn even with the same negative hit ratio edge combo, right? Which means that they'll still continue to do the same thing and still continue to lose money. So I think the analytics is really a bottom-up way of telling you what adjustments you need to make and where you need to make them. Whether are you losing money because of a low hit, or are you losing money because of a low edge? If it's a low edge, is it because are you taking profits too early? So normally, like I'll give you an example. For my US, I actually had a problem of overtrading. So alam ni Kento, nung the month of April, I actually started shorting some names. I tried to short Netflix 3 times, got stopped out. Tried to short Citibank, got stopped out 3 times. Tried to short Spotify, got stopped out twice. And nakita ko, grabe ang baba ng hit ratio ko. So, syempre, just using those analytics,
Nakikita mo kagad.
Yeah.
not only nakita, it told me to stop muna and to evaluate the sample size that I had.
To benchmark yourself.
So let's say during the time, I think it was after the time when I think after I had maybe like 20-30 trades that I had. So and some of those trades I had the benefit of looking at hindsight. If let's say if I was taking profits too early, or if maybe if I was oversizing, and I found out that 50% of my trades there, since atat ako mag-short, in-oversize ko, kaya sobrang tight ng
Stop
so because of my
loss.
oversizing, my stop loss becomes too tight naman, diba? So you really have to use your own trades and your own analytics to really make the necessary adjustments. And it actually works. Like for the US, I think I can easily share naman, like for the month of April alone, nakakaya siya. I was actually down just for April 3 to March to end April. It was actually a bad month for the US. I think I was down like 9%, which is pretty bad. And I'm being vulnerable here, but because of the adjustments I made, I was able to bring my portfolio from -9 to now plus 33% in just a month. So, and that was because of the adjustments that I made.
So it's really important to know your analytics.
You really have to. You can't. You really have to let the numbers tell you where you're making the mistake, as opposed to just, doing it subjectively based on the feeling today.
I treat, if you're familiar with basket, finals ngayon, di ba?
May stats din na sinusundan.
Hindi lang stats, but analytics is yung tape reading, the tapes that you watch after the game. Kasi yun yung magsasabi sa'yo, oy, mali yung position mo, oy, mali yung cut mo dyan, mali yung screen. May mga things ka na makikita outside na kapag hindi ka na nag-trade through the analytics. So makita mo yung edge mo, ratio mo, saan ka na kumita, di ba? So yun yung edge ng constantly and religiously doing your analytics.
Para sa boxing, no? After ng laban nila,
i-analyze.
Papanoorin agad nila yung film or yung replay.
That's how I did it.
Makikita agad nila.
Kung saan kamali.
So, the next rematch, bugbog na yung kalaban. Diba?
Or napanood ng kalaban, siya yung bugbog.
Oo, parang gano'n.